Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. I'm Gerry. I'm joined by David and Max, as I always am. So, Palace preview. In a little while, I'm going to hand this off to Max because he just did an interview with Terrence of Holmesdale Radio. That's we tend to interact with them before Palace matches. They're great guys. They do a great pod. So he's kind of the expert now on Palace, but I got some stats. I'm going to read them off really quick. Palace are currently 14th with 27 points. So they're 4 off of us, actually. That's funny, 14th and you know, where we are, 4 points. When you're not top 6, the whole rest of it's just insane this season.
Crazy relegation situation.
Oh my gosh. So they're 6, 9, and 11. Recently, they drew with Newcastle 1-1. They drew with West Ham 1-1, and they lost to Arsenal 4-1. I mean, we did 5. You guys can't. We let them have 5. You guys can't do it right.
If you get beat, get beat. You know what I mean?
Let's do it well, guys. So injuries. Zaha, Loftus-Cheek, Speroni are kind of, I'd say, the really big impact ones. I'm never a big fan of saying, "Oh, thank goodness he's injured." You know what I mean? Because that's bad karma, bad juju, and it's just mean. But Zaha is, but Zaha is great. All right, and he's turned the corner as a player over the past couple seasons. He's dangerous, and there is a little relief to not have to play him. You know, I'd be lying if I said that. But we hope he gets well soon. Apparently it's not as bad as they thought. It's only about a month. So that's good. Loftus-Cheek is another good player, though. Oh, my gosh. And Speroni is kind of their big rock in the locker room. So, yeah, they're missing some people. Max, do you want to get talking about them next? Or, I mean, I've got a possible lineup, but you may know some other stuff.
Well, when I did speak to Terence, really, one of the main talking points was Wilfried Zaha. You know, as you said, he's a very influential player in terms of how Palace get the ball forward. You know, he provides a lot of width and he can cause a lot of damage. And I think he's been their most influential player in terms of goals this season as well. So for him to, it was a strange scenario and how he was even injured as well. He kind of picked up a knock in that last game against Newcastle and he played him for the rest of the game. And whether that aggravated the injury or not, we don't know. But as you say, it looks like he's out for a month, which it benefits Everton coming into this game because, you know, me and Terence talked about, you know, in past seasons, particularly they got 3-2 back-to-back wins at Goodison, where Zaha and Balassi pretty much ripped us to threads from out wide. So something that particularly that kind of intrigued me, what Terence said, is Roy Hodgson's going to be dealing with scraps of a team because their injury list is so prominent. You know, Scott Dan is also another name. So kind of what I took from that was he said, you know, the key way of getting forwards obviously is to exploit the out wide and try and get in behind fullbacks. But with the likes of Zaha and Sakho being injured, you know, the talk James McArthur might be having to play out wide, so that can only benefit Everton in that players will be playing out of position and might not be as damaging as, you know, say like the Bakary Sakho or Wilfried Zaha. But from my own perspective, I always see a Crystal Palace match as a potential banana skin, really, because I've always thought when Everton come up against Crystal Palace, they're really well organised, they're hard to break down and they're hard to get in behind. So I think I don't think it's going to be a game that's easy on the eye, but I think it's going to be a vital 3 points because, as you say, they're only 4 off us. And they're 14th, and they really are considered potential relegation candidates. So I think, you know, it is a really important game.
David, how are you feeling beforehand without tipping your lineup or your prediction?
Dig me out of that hole, why don't you? I kind of agree with Max, really. I think this one isn't as straightforward as we might think. Not that we're in particularly any great form, but I think most people going the game tomorrow will fancy it and Everton win. But, you know, I was having a look at the records between the two sides, especially Goodison, and we haven't won this. I mean, we haven't beat them since 2005 at Goodison. Been a couple draws. Max talked about those 3-2 defeats, 2 consecutively. No one can explain why, but the Premier League and football in general just kind of throws up these fixtures where you just can't seem to win. I think that Palace at home's kind of becoming one for us, so I think it could be a difficult game. I think the bonus is what we just talked about. They're missing key players, which could play in our favour. I think there won't be as much pressure on Palace to get a result as there will be for us to get a result. So, you know, maybe Hodgson plays by this Aldi's tactic of kind of, you know, a game that they're prepared to lose. I don't think they'll play like that. I think they'll be desperate for the win. But yeah, I just think it's going to be a little bit more difficult than maybe what people are expecting, even with the players out. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. If we don't see a strong performance from our squad, I'm going to be pissed because of the way he approached the last match, the way he, you know, did not play our starters. You know what I mean? He did not play. He did not put an 11 on the field to win that. He put an 11 on the field to maybe get a draw, but probably lose. And the fact that he's been sort of saving it up for this next game. It better be great. We better look good. You know,
we need, yeah, as you say there, you know, we need to look good. But you know, Crystal Palace have got Spurs, Man U, and Chelsea coming up in the next few games, and you know, if they're looking forward, this is a winnable game for them. We're going to be low on confidence, and you know, I watched the game against Newcastle, and you know, I'm not one for the expected goals stat, but it was considerably high. You know, they missed a number of very important chances. They either put wide or put over the bar, and I know you said earlier, Gerry, you know, they'll be disappointed by that, but obviously they've got to be some form of confidence that's grown from that, because they're going to be coming up against an Everton side that, you know, we don't seem to be creative. We don't see none of the players really seem to be on the same wavelength.
I do think it's quite ironic that as a result of Allardyce's own tactics last week, he has almost put this pressure on this game, a lot more pressure than maybe he would have had if he was capable of putting a team who could put in a performance at Arsenal, because now he's rested so many and, you know, made so many changes with this game in mind. Now this for him is a must-win. I just think it's going to be a real tough game. I think Everton have got to firstly make sure they don't lose the game, because that could be a disaster if we go ahead and get beaten that game. But, you know, as I said, I don't know why. I think maybe it's just the research I've looked into the fixture. I'm just really apprehensive about this one.
I think I'm actually a little more positive than you guys about this upcoming game. I don't know. I shouldn't be after this past weekend. I shouldn't be, but I feel better about it. Their possible lineup, just to kind of go into that, they're starting Hennessy because Speroni's out. Fasu Mensah, Tompkins, Sacco, and Van Aanholt that's their defense. Then Townsend, Cabaye, Riedewald, Milivojevic, and MacArthur probably, as you said. MacArthur may be playing on the wing. That's about like Sigurdsson playing on the wing, except less dead ball threat. You know what I mean? So, and then Benteke probably starting as well at striker. That's a team that's missing some people. So I don't know, and I feel like if he plays a similar lineup to the Leicester game, I don't know. I feel better. I feel like that is our actual team right now. that shit we did against Arsenal, I do not think that's indicative of our best side right now. So I don't know. I'm a little bit more optimistic about Saturday. What are our lineups? Speaking of which, that's a little segue. See how I did that? Didn't even mean to. Who wants to start?
Max can, just because I haven't wrote mine down.
Nah, as you say, Gerry, that Leicester lineup really. Probably a token in for Nias. But I think that's where the team seems to be most fluid, really, and more structured. I hope Seamus Coleman's really recovered from being sick. But it seemed like, we had players in positions where they were comfortable. It wasn't some batshit crazy formation like we saw against Arsenal. We moved the ball around well, and the team looked like they had quite a bit of confidence. Again, a bit unsure on Nias, on whether Nias should start. And again, I agree with points that we've made several times, that he's a better impact player coming off the bench rather than starting. Yeah,
I agree. I think just refer to my notepad, guys. I think Pickford, Coleman, hopefully, Jagielka, Keane reluctantly. Then I put Mangala back in, at left back. I don't think he had the greatest game, but equally we can't be contradictory. We said we're not going to judge him on just one performance, so let's give him another go. Gay Davies definitely proved on that second half at Arsenal that he should be starting. He said it himself in the press this week. I agree. Walcott, Rooney, Sigurdsson, Tosin as opposed to Nias. I think if you want one coming off the bench, you'd rather Nias than Tosin. And we've spent a lot of money on the guy, so let's start him and give him a few games. He started all right against Spurs, but I mean that was just another woeful away performance against a big side. So let's see who always like back Goodison against a team that we're hoping to beat, and go from there.
A lot of similarities with you guys, obviously. Pickford, Coleman, those two pick themselves if Coleman's healthy, you know what I mean? I think he'll go with Martina again at left back. I'll be really curious if he does play Mangala at left back, though. I wasn't... I heard that he was maybe brought in to play a little left back, David. I wasn't sure. I saw him get forward, though, in that last game, so I don't think it's a ridiculous proposition. I'd be curious.
In terms of that, I just feel like he did kind of have someone in mind who could be versatile and maybe move over to that left back position. That was the
I do have Mangala in, but I've got him in at center back with Holgate. I don't know. I feel like he's going to play somebody who's good in the air because Benteke is probably going to start, and we need somebody to kind of match up with that somehow. And Holgate's not that, but I think Mangala would be better in the air than Keane. Keane lately, I think, after watching Ndidi go up over him for that header against Leicester, I don't have as much faith in Keane's aerial ability as I should. I feel like Mangala's probably a little bit better. I don't know. The fact that he sat Jags as well, though, was making me wonder if it's going to be Holgate and Jags. But I don't know. I think Holgate will get in, and I think Sam's going to want to play Mangala again because he didn't really get given a really genuine chance in the last one. Thought he was done unfairly, so maybe... I don't know. I don't know if Big Sam feels that way, but whatever. He's just like, fuck it. I did all the right stuff. You were wrong.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Everyone else's fault, but it is.
Yeah. Gay and Davies, just like you guys were saying. Rooney also in the center. Sigurdsson, Walcott, just like what you guys are saying. And I heard Sam in an interview, I don't know if it was yesterday or today, I don't remember when it was, but he was saying he's going to slowly bring along Tosin, and by the end of the season, he'll be starting. Okay? I don't know if that was an older interview, but somebody quoted it today in a story. And that's why I was I was thinking he might, because Nias hasn't scored in a game or two, that he would bring Tosin in and give him a shot. But after hearing that, if it's recent, then I think he'll probably go with either Nias or DCL. So I want Tosin to start. I want to make it clear that's who I would start in this game. But it wouldn't surprise me if he gives Nias another shot. He hit the post second half. I don't know. He's getting some chances.
Yeah. The problem is, I just feel like neither of them really a lone striker. I don't feel like they kind of fit that role. So I feel like Tosin's more the target man, maybe, traditionally.
Definitely. I totally agree.
Whereas Niaki is probably the runner who isn't really a target man. And then Calvert-Lewin's neither of them either. So it just feels like we've got these three striking options and none of them are kind of what we need.
The irony is that DCL could play really well with either one of those guys up top.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like the game's screaming out for 4-4-2s again, but it feels like we've progressed past it now.
Yeah, or it's just not being considered at all, period. So I think he'll go with Nias. I mean, although DCL, here's the reason I thought about DCL. DCL played great last game, but he was playing on the wing. And I think, I don't know, I got a vibe that if Sam wants to take Walcott out, he'll put DCL on the wing again. Which is, I mean, I know he's got speed, but are we really, I mean, don't we have other wingers?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're a little light with no Lookman, but...
I was going to say, it looks like Vlasic just fell off the face of the earth again, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because he's going to cost 30 million.
Yeah. I don't know, Vlasic, this kind of class and hope, that's just dying a death, isn't he? He's not even getting a sniff again, so...
Yeah, he's been given some opportunities, and I think Sam likes him, sees more in him than Clausen. I think he's more physically ready for this league. I just think his defensive mindset needs a little tweaking. He tends to let runners go behind him often in ball watch. So that's the only reason I can imagine Vlasic not getting any time.
Do you think any of these players have knocked on his door and said, can I play this weekend? Can you give me a shot? Because I feel like the impression you get is if they haven't, but surely at this stage they've got nothing to lose, and you don't need to go in there with the attitude of kind of like a troublemaker, play me or else. No, not that, but I'll just go there and say, give me a shot and I'll show you what I can do.
See,
I was just going to say, I think that's what the squad really does need, particularly, you know, coming off a loss like that loss at Arsenal. You know, they need someone that'll you know, take on some responsibility and say, you know, I want to grab the game by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah, I'll show them. Yeah, I'll get out there.
We saw that in Theo Walcott against Leicester, and you know, you want to see similar performances to that from the likes of Vlasic, you know, from the likes of Balassi, which it wouldn't surprise me if he ended up playing a cameo, particularly against his old team. But yeah, I completely agree, and I feel like the squad needs it.
Yeah. See, I remember I was not a really great student throughout like high school, in the beginning of university. But when I went back, I was an adult. You know, went back to school as an adult. Yeah. And I remember there was one class where I did all the reading and I was totally prepared for an exam. And then when I took the exam, I ended up getting a B. And that's not the best grade you can get. And so I went to the teacher and I was like, or the professor, and I was like, look, I know this material. I did the work. What do I need to do in order to get an A? Because I don't understand why I didn't get it. Because all right here, everything I've got in my paper is exactly what you want. So what do you think? What will push me through? And he told me some very basic, small tweaks about my structure of my paper. And it was the stupidest little hair-splitting bullshit you could think of. I did it on every paper throughout. Even if I didn't know as much, I always got an A.
Yeah.
He valued the structure more than the content.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel like Sam has that kind of diplomacy about him. Almost. I don't feel like I think he's just got this mindset that the players that are at the club aren't enough to get done what he wants to get done.
Really. Do the dirty job.
And is that, again, I think it comes full circle to the point that David made several times, that this club is just way too big for him, and that there's several players there that are, more than several. I think the majority of players are kind of on different wavelengths, and we're still trying to see them gel as a team. But when we need a manager that can work with that and help them get on the same wavelength, and it's, as you say there, just to reply to your point there, Gerry, I just don't feel like Sam's that manager.
Yeah, and I don't know if he would listen. You know, like if he were my manager and if I was Vlasic or Klaassen, I would go to him and say, look, I'm not demanding to play. I want to know what I need to do in order to play, in order to get a sniff. Because it's on me. I would take responsibility and say, look, what do I need to do? Would Sam say, nothing? You're just not ready. Would he be forthcoming?
And I think, again, this comes down to, all the selections and the players that he's left out that a lot of Evertonians feel like he should have put in. But I feel like just the sole instruction to keep Everton up, that's give Sam permission almost to minimise as many risks. He doesn't have to take the risk of playing Ademola Lookman. He can play a more experienced Morgan Schneiderlin instead of Tom Davies, and as he's been doing that, it's fully come round. I think it's bit him on the arse, really, because these experienced players aren't giving him the results or the performances that he's after. But it's just, is he that stubborn that he's not going to take that responsibility upon himself and say, okay, then this is what you need to do, or go on then, prove your point.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. When he gives interviews, it's like he's just saying they're not showing enough. Well, let's be more specific. If I'm a player, show more in practice. More what? I'm running my ass off. What specifically? Tell me what I need to do. If it's a striker, does the hold-up play need to be better? If it's Klaassen, is it physicality? If he's not fast enough for the league, if he's not physical enough for the league, put him in the gym a lot. And I know those players are in there all the time, but still, be specific.
It feels like there's just too much of a divide between kind of playing staff and the management. And of course, we don't know because we're not there every day. It might not be like that, but it was like the Barkley situation. He was saying, well, I don't know what Ross was thinking, and I remember said to Sam, I was like, well, you see him every day, you're in the same place every day, just walk up to him and ask him what he's thinking, pull him to one side, and equally, it's like they go in there, they train, they talk strictly tactics, and then they all go their separate ways. Like, why aren't these players just saying to the manager, listen, blah 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 blah, I want this, can you show me what you want me to do to get on the pitch, and I'll do it for you. Everything that seems to still be through, maybe it's just modern football, every conversation is always between agents. It's like it's always got to be a triangle kind of conversation. Like Sam saying that he had 6 agents calling them, telling them that they want to go out on loan. Like, maybe that's a culture now. Maybe the players don't talk to the manager, but that's what they should be doing. I don't think it's hard. Just go back to basics, speak to the man and say, what can I do? Right, you want me to do X, Y, and Z? I'll do X, Y, and Z. Give me a shot on the pitch. And then there's your chance. And if you don't take it, then you're gonna have to accept that you're rotten on the bench. But they've got to grasp this themselves as well. They can't just be waiting and hoping that they eventually get a shot.
I think a lot of this goes back to the fact that Sam is arrogant. He's flat out arrogant, and he's older, so he thinks he knows it all. We talked about this last recording session. He doesn't learn because he doesn't think he has anything to learn. He thinks he's seen it all, and his assistants have seen it all, and so there's no. So when I honestly, if I'm going to be honest, I think if a young player who has not been getting a sniff comes to him, I think he sees it as an annoyance.
Yeah, like you need to wait your turn. This is football and all that kind of stuff.
You haven't showed me anything. Why are you at my door?
Should be shown that kind of stuff. Yeah,
and that's just not a manager. But what's funny is a lot of people, some of the players say he's much more approachable than Koeman was. He's much more personable.
And this is the thing, we talk, don't we? But at the end of the day, we don't have a clue, and we could be saying something that's completely wrong, and we do accept that. So I'm not saying this is how it should be. I don't know. You two don't know. We don't know anyone in there at the moment. But yeah, I just think I don't know. It's just from the outside looking at it. It seems very simple. Just go knock on his door, say. I mean, but this week especially, I'd say we just got beat 5-1 there. Embarrassed, terrible performance. I believe I can do better than some of those players on the pitch. Give me a shot. But for me, that just seems so obvious. But then maybe those conversations are happening and we just don't find out.
Yeah. Well, David, I gotta be honest. I do know what's going on. I've got a friend at Finch Farm who waters the plants.
Gerry, you lost us when you said I've got a free.
No one would believe that. I'll be crying myself to sleep tonight.
Gerry, actually, your friend.
Oh.
I don't know about anything else.
Yeah, outside this room, it's my family, if they'll be around me. So, predictions. Yeah, you guys go first because I think I don't want to feel silly saying mine before you.
Or you want to finish on a positive?
Yes, let's say that, David.
2-0 the Blues. Come on.
Hey.
I'm going for a third consecutive 1-1.
And I've written it down. 2-0. 2-0 win. Yeah. I was worried when you were both saying how much of a struggle it might be. I thought I would be the only one picking a more than one goal win. But hey, now I don't feel lonely in my optimism. So guys, yeah, I guess that's it. Any parting comments about this one?
Please play well.
Yeah.
Please play to win.
After that last game.
You know, I just want to see Sam try to win it. I think he will. I think he will this time.
Yeah.
You know, we've actually had a lot of really good comments on our videos. People giving analysis of their own, and it's great. It's very encouraging to know that there are people out there who are thinking analytically about the club, and that's just great. So yeah, keep it up. Basically,
we do read them. All three of us read them, to be fair, and Edward as well, because Edward commented, didn't he, on the last one?
Yeah, and there are times where if I'm sick or something, I may not be coming back at you with the comments the way I need to, but yeah, they do get read, and it's appreciated. The support is awesome. So also check out David's stuff on the Sportsman on the Toffee Blues website. Also check out Max's stuff on the Toffee Blues website. Both these guys put a lot of work into their articles, and there's good stuff there. All right, a lot of work into that. So yeah, that's all. That's it for right now, and we're gonna make another video. All right, bye.